What's up guys, Cali Sunset Gaming with you again, and we are looking over the FIFA 22 player career mode now that I've had a chance to play it for hours on end. I want to give you guys the best tips and tricks to ensure that you're getting the most out of your pro, and make sure that you guys stick around for the end because I'm going to be giving you a brand new approach for your player career mode that may just improve your experience. Let's get to it. Now in recent years, FIFA has made a lot of changes to its player career mode. From a player that you would take across all modes, to an online and offline player that would each have their own checklists of tasks to complete in order to be able to unlock stats, to where we are now, which is a honed skill tree based growth system, which has you allocate points as you see fit. Now before I go any further, make sure that you guys click subscribe and hit that notification bell to make sure that you get updates every time I release a brand new video. If you can think of any tips that I missed, make sure that you drop them in the comment section below for all the other player career mode players watching this video. Now whether you like this system or hate it, it provides the most freedom to be able to grow your pro how you want, but this also introduces its biggest problem. Now I don't mean the problem for the game, I mean for you, the player. See, this skill tree system is more likely something you'd find on an RPG, which is why I believe there hasn't been that massive sort of dislike towards it, because this is basically how most games are these days. If you think about it, this is actually like a masterstroke by EA, and it's gone unnoticed. Actually, complimenting EA makes me feel a bit like so I'm going to stop there. The problem you have here stems from how you want to play, mixed with how FIFA categorises statistics for that position. Let me explain. Chances are if you're playing as a midfielder, you want to slam the long shots up so you can pull out the old Stevie G when you're a goal down in the 80th minute. I'll have Frank Lampard style free kicks and my penalties up there so I can boost my goal tally for the season. Well, that's exactly what I did, and I tried to make many slight adjustments, but the highest overall that I could ever get was 84 as a centre midfielder. Now, once I boosted my passing stats, barely touching my shooting or set pieces, and improved my defending and pace, I got up to 88. On top of this, the highest level that you can achieve in the game is level 25. That provides you with a total of 110 points. This means fundamentally some aspects of your game will be lacking, and you'll be hard pressed to get over 92 overall throughout your full career, regardless of your position. But let's talk about how we take advantage of this and the many other things in our player career mode. First thing I will say is forget about stats for free kicks. I've played this game non-stop since its release, and I've had like 2 free kicks in a danger area in open play. It's not worth the points you allocate to it, so just try avoiding to buff these stats. If you're in a position where you're comfortable with your player, the playstyle, and happy at having the rating between 80 and 84, this can actually work in your favour. So transfers in FIFA have been the same for many years. Some like it, some hate it, but a player's value is based on their rating, not on their current performance, which is why for the most part it works, but often leads to you purchasing players on your manager career mode that you may pay over the odds for, despite the fact they're in a poor run of form. That said, keeping your overall down will allow you to get offers from other teams, as your reflected value won't be that high. This is perfect for you filthy mercenaries out there who want to wear as many jerseys as possible throughout your career. My next tip is attacking and defensive awareness. Most likely you've come across these and you thought to yourself, I know where I need to be, son, so I don't waste points on these stats. Fair dues, I was the same. Now, attacking and defensive awareness, for those of you that don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't. It boils down to how well your player can read the game, and you might think this is pointless when you're controlling your player, but check this out. Holding L1 or LB, depending on what console you've got, will make your player move to the position that they need to be in. Now, you'll already know this because one of the first things you're taught to make sure you don't lose your manager rating points by being out of position is to hold L1 or LB. That's where you'll slip into the position where the manager expects you to be. But here's the golden nugget, boys. This also works when you're on the attack or defending a counter-attack. If your attacking awareness is high, holding the L1 button when you're on the attack will mean that your player gets into a position where he can be utilised, whether that's knowing a deep cross is coming in and charging towards a back post, or running diagonally away from the attacker to pull one of the centre backs away. Defensive awareness is the same, knowing when to step up as part of a defensive line to create an offside scenario, or knowing where to stand to intercept a pass. So, whilst you might not think it's worth it on the face of it, it's definitely worth applying the points where you can. and using L1 or LB buttons to ensure you're capitalising on every single scenario. The next one that you may overlook is vision. Now, on fully manual settings, this might not make a difference to you, but if you've ever been playing FIFA and you notice a 60-yard ping, try and pull it off and your player ends up just playing a much shorter pass, well, that's down to your player's vision. The higher your player's vision, the more likely you can pull off those passes that you see. Just because you can see the pass doesn't mean that the player that you're controlling, your pro in this case, can pull it off. So build up your vision to ensure that you're picking off these cross-field balls that land on a 50p piece. Now this next one's like less of a tip, it's more of a heads up. If you change the position of your player, you'll be dropped to sub, and literally its lowest point, so just above reserve. If you ever get bored in your current position and want to change, it's a tough slog to get back into the starting 11, and this can lead to many scenarios, such as the manager wanting to get rid of you, or saying that you're not part of his future plans, like what happened to me. I mean, I scored 20 goals from midfield, and Tuchel has the audacity to tell me I'm not in his future plans. Does he know who I am? I'm calm, I'm over it. In true Cali fashion, next up I'm going to teach you how to cut some corners. As the last two FIFAs that have come before it, you can request to be subbed at any point of a game by pressing pause and going to the bottom right panel on the pause screen. If you're out on loan or you're playing a game that doesn't really mean that much to you, you can achieve your targets in the game, request a sub, and it will save any objectives that you hit without penalising you for it. So I subbed myself out, received the max rewards, half the work, all the rewards, baby. Don't say I don't give you anything. And last of all, the tip that I told you guys about in the beginning that may just revolutionise the way that you're playing your player career mode. It's slightly different from what you'd usually expect, but if you create your player on the main menu rather than creating a virtual pro on the beginning screen of your player career mode, what you can do is you can make the player, set his stats how you want it, and then when you go on to start a player career mode, you can select play as an existing player. From there, all you have to do is just select the player that you've just created, and from there what you can do is not only begin your career, but you're not hindered by only having to upgrade your skills based on a skill tree. The system that it uses for existing players is the same as what it used in FIFAs before it introduced the skill tree. So you can update all of your skills and there's no cap on it whatsoever. The only downside to this is that you don't receive the perks that you usually do when you're playing on the player career mode with your creative pro. This means that you don't get any long shot bonuses, flair, skill, pass traits, anything like that. It's just the basic core of the game. But that said, you can still take advantage of all of the training games and keep buffing your stats endlessly without any cap on the maximum level you can achieve. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for checking this video out. If you did enjoy the content, make sure that you smash a like on it and consider subbing. You guys have been awesome, and thank you for checking out the video. I'll see you next time on Cali Sunset Gaming.